This week on the RV podcast.
We had to slow the pace down. Take Model Z, for example. That would be in the category of brands that build 28, 30 a day. The most we build out of one of the plants is 16. We almost cut it in half. And the goal being, put everybody in a position to slow down. It's less about speed and volume. It's more about the quality of work.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the RV podcast. This is episode 572. I'm Mike Wendland, and this is my lifelong traveling companion and my bride, Jennifer. Hello, my dear.
Hello, Michael.
In this episode, our conversation of the week is with one of the 5 owners of Brinkley RV and how that new company is trying to fix an industry's broken manufacturing processes and improve quality. This is a very candid and important discussion, and we think you're going to find it very interesting.
We'll also have RV and camping news, the social media buzz, and your questions.
A quick note before we jump into this Brinkley interview. Thanksgiving is almost here, and that means Black Friday is hot on its heels, and that means your inbox, your email inbox is going to be overloaded. And we get it. Nobody needs more surprise emails cluttering things up. But at the same time, there are some really great deals that our team has quietly gathered up and some inside information on products, RV and camping gear that are going to have some really great discounts that only pop up during Black Friday. Here's the thing. If you want them, we will send you a list. We'll send you the picks that we have found, the best of the Black Friday deals for RVers. But you need to tell us you want to get that email. I don't want to just send it if you don't want it. So just raise your hand, and you can do that on the show notes page for this episode, rvlifestyle.com/572. That's kind of like a transcript of the whole show, and you can find a simple link, and you can get the emails there. And then we'll send them to you, start about November 18th, and it'll go to right after Thanksgiving.
So no pressure, no spam, and only for the week leading into Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Now, the deals that we found, by the way, are really good, and they're going to be focused strictly on RV and camping gear and accessories. So if you want them, just let us know. If you don't want them, don't worry, you won't get them from us. That link is waiting for you again on the show notes page at rvlifestyle.com/572. Okay, now on to the RV conversation of the week. And this week we have a very special conversation for you, one that pulls back the curtain on one of the most disruptive companies to hit the RV industry in years. We're talking about Brinkley RV, this young company that has, I think it's safe to say, absolutely shaken up Elkhart.
It has.
They're distinct models with clean designs and next-level build processes, and what the company calls a relentless focus on quality and customer care. In an industry that has been struggling of late with reputation and trust and consistency, Brinkley set out right from the start to do things differently. And depending on who you ask, they've already changed the game. It was founded by 5 industry veterans who saw the same problems that RV owners have been complaining about for years.
So today we sit down with one of them, Nate Goldenberg, a founder and part of the ownership team. Nate didn't come to dodge questions. He came ready to talk, and what you're about to hear is one of the most candid interviews we've ever done with an RV industry leader. We ask him the tough stuff: quality control, warranty issues, dealer service, bottlenecks, product innovation, growth without sacrificing standards, even the rumors about whether Brinkley plans to sell or stay independent. And Nate's going to answer all these questions.
So settle in, whether you're a Brinkley owner or a curious RVer or somebody who just wants a clearer picture of where the industry is headed. I think this conversation is going to give you a lot to think about. So let's jump into our interview with Brinkley co-founder Nate Goldenberg. So here it is, 2025.
Yeah.
3 years you guys have really been showing these and in business.
Yep.
You all came from the industry.
We did, yeah.
You said at the time that there were some industry habits that you all thought needed to be changed.
Oh, yeah.
Name a couple of those and how you changed them.
Well, I think for us, we knew where we were at in the past and where we wanted to be. And it's everything from product quality and construction processes, ultimately to produce a better product for customers, but then also company culture and the work environment for our people. And we just really felt that starting over was how we would get there. But I mean, we took what we had done in the past and kind of revolutionized every part of the business, and we call it the clean slate method. When you have a clean slate, you can do a lot.
So when you have a clean slate, what does that mean?
Well, when you build a business from the ground up, you have the ability to pick and choose how it's going to be. And I think if you have your vision and what you want the outcome to be, you can kind of tweak it. You know, for us, in the past, we had a lot of outside influence. We had Wall Street and expectations. And I think when we started Brinkley, you know, we wanted a few things. We wanted great culture with a great place for people to work. We wanted exceptional product quality, you know, that exceeds industry norms. And we wanted to take all that and create a production environment where we could build volume still, but deliver a high quality product for our customers. And if we did it like we did in the past, we couldn't have accomplished it. So
just so people can understand it, name a couple of specific things about the past. And quite frankly, I think the past is still very much a part of Elkhart and some of the other manufacturers.
It is, yeah.
But name some of those practices.
Sure, I can be specific. So here's one, plant pace. So, you know, a plant that we used to run at 28, 30 a day, you know.
Producing 28 to 30
units a day.
Units
yeah,
a day.
So let me paint the picture a little bit. You know, if you think about that, your speed online, you know, how fast your workers have to go, how fast the units are moving down the line, when they're moving out of station. When we really got fixated on quality, what we realized is we had to slow the pace down, okay? So take Model Z, for example. That would be in the category of brands that build 28, 30 a day. At Model Z, the most we build out of one of the plants is 16. So we almost cut it in half. And the goal being, put everybody in a position to slow down, where as fast as they can go is as fast as they can go to do it right. You know, it's less about speed and volume, it's more about the quality of work.
And that's because speed, if speed is the main function here, you're going to miss, I forgot a screw there, that's all right, move it on.
Yes, exactly. So we kind of reorganize that where quality is most important. Speed is not even on your list of importance at all. Now for us, being a young company, you know, you drive around here, I think you were here, you know, a year and a half ago. Look at all these buildings. It's been
you
very...
had one Z factory, and I should go back to that. You now have 2 plants making the Z line?
We have 3.
3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So instead of ramping it up to, you know, 28, 30 a day, you built an extra plant.
We did.
And then another plant.
Yes. So it's been capital heavy for us because we've had to invest in real estate and facilities, and then also all the management to have separate teams. But we get to a point in our pre-delivery inspection at the end of the line is kind of our barometer. So that's how we gauge. We pretend they're a customer or a dealer. So that's how we gauge the quality coming out of the plant. And what we've learned is 16 is about the max we can build to have really high quality. And so we just stop there, and then we'll build another plant. And, you know, so it's a slow process for our dealers. You know, there's we don't overproduce at all, but like sometimes you have to wait to get Brinkley's. It's because this process. So
this emphasis on quality versus speed, which every manufacturer I've seen wants to just keep making more and more and faster and faster. Where are we in an industry today? And I know, I think I can ask you that because you've worked with pretty much all of them. The industry seems to be in a great state of flux today.
Yes.
And a lot of confusion. And quality seems to be the thing that we keep hearing more and more about. So where are we? Are we at a crossroads? Is there a crisis with the industry as a whole? Have we figured it out as an industry as a whole? What still needs to be done?
Oh, that's a multi-layered question. So I can tell you one of the luxuries we have at Brinkley is we're a private organization. So, you know, when you look at our priority list, profit, financial gain, pushing revenue.
Stockholders demanding more.
Yeah, and it's
have that.
not even on the list. I mean, we talk about our financials maybe 30 minutes a month. I mean, there's just bigger things that we focus on. I know from our past lives, we felt a lot of pressure from Wall Street, and you always had to perform. You had a lofty forecast you had to hit. And we didn't always feel like we were in a position to slow a plant down or take our time because, the financial piece was always the front runner in your priority list. So I think to some degree, until companies kind of reorganize that, if quality is your number one, you may have to have, some financial hiccups from time to time. You may have to slow a plant down. You may have to not ramp it up as much. You may have to build more buildings. And until you start seeing that happen, at least from what we've learned, I think it's going to be hard to get a different outcome. From what we see here, they're not changing a lot. They're talking different. But, until you start actually changing your build process, I don't know that the outcome is going to be any different. So
give us an idea of the build process, industry-wide, and then what you guys have decided to do different. How have you disrupted that industry?
Well, I mean, I think if you know anything about RV production, I don't know that it's changed in totality at all, really, my career until Brinkley. Now, what did we do? I mean, we did a lot of, it would sound like common sense things, but when you start peeling the onion on quality, it was everything from the materials we were using to how we were using them. For instance, we used to take PEX lines online and we would cut them by hand and we'd put them in, and the guys are crimping stuff on their backs, laying in a pass-through, and plumbing leaks were in our top 3 always, right? Well, when we really started looking at it, we weren't putting our employees in a position to even do it right. So how do we do it now? We do everything offline. We do it the day before. It doesn't matter if the line's going fast or slow. All of the parts are prepped beforehand. Everything is pneumatically crimped. Everything is precise. Guess what's not in our top 3 anymore?
Leaks.
No.
Yeah.
It's not even, does it happen? Yeah, sometimes, but it is like a rare instance, So we control the environment, and then we put our employees in a position to actually do it right, so they can go home and feel good at the end of the day.
Now, what about electric stuff, the wiring, the cables, the harnessing?
That was
one of the things. So many people, they ran a staple through my electrical wire here in this.
Yeah.
How I know you guys have changed that because I remember on our tour. But
yeah, so. Well, a lot of things. One, we kind of identified first all the areas where we would stub our toe, and electrical was one of our biggest warranty issues. Then we decided that, okay, so if we invest heavy on the front end in harnesses and we control where our trunks lay, everything is consistent and the same.
So people understand, does the rest of the industry use harnesses?
Only in motorized usually, not in towables. You're starting to see it a little bit, but I'll tell you, it's been a 3-year evolution.
So it's, am I right? It's like spaghetti.
It's like spaghetti.
But if you run a cable, it's all together in one spot.
Yes, everything is in a trunk.
Yep.
A lot of it is loomed. Every unit is exactly the same. We have prints, we have locations. You'll watch where the guys secure it, and you'll look across the roof scaffold, and every unit is the same. And that's how we make sure there's no screws coming up or staples coming up. If we have to diagnose something, we can tell you what color the wire is, where the wire is. It's more of an automotive quality. And then, what we've been doing recently is we've been adding automotive connections where we're getting away from RV connections completely.
Explain the difference to people.
The difference is you're taking like a Deutsch connector, for instance, and it's a waterproof connection. It snaps together. You can't mix the wires up. It's right every time, so as long as the guys push it in, versus taking just stripped wires that you're spinning, you're putting it into a Wago or a bell cap.
Yep.
There's a lot of opportunity for error. And we just more and more would rather spend the money on the bill of material side to put our teams in a position to do it right every time, because just getting things fixed in the field is one of our biggest issues. So the more we can do right here and get the customer out of the middle of the problem, the better off we are.
Now, one of the things you mentioned, your 500-point inspection process, and we just were over at the factory looking at the shaker table, getting some video of that. What is one of the failure points that you may have discovered through this process that would have maybe gone through on another company, another line?
With the shaker specifically, we find a lot of things. We find things every day, and we're actually on our third generation of shaker table. That's how much we believe in it. But it could be everything from a loose connection to a bad ground to a plumbing issue to a heat duct coming loose. Typically it's not like camping trip ending stuff, but it could be. And again, the more we can catch here. So the way that started, we wanted to build a track around our complex where we test towed everything. But with the winters here, taking stuff outside in the ice and snow and then bringing it back in the plant was kind of problematic. So we ended up developing these shaker tables where we could simulate a real road test, hundreds of miles, in a production environment. And the third generation, which we're installing at Plant 7, our newest plant right next door, we've actually developed a front table. So it's a dual table where we can simulate the truck. So now we're simulating the axle movement and the truck movement, and we have enough testing data that we can build these simulations. And so now it's like a real world test. It's incredible. But everything we find here it saves a customer in the dealership headaches. And we like sending stuff. We used to see it in the past. We'd ship a unit, it'd be perfect out of PDI, you spend all this time on it, and then it'd get to the dealership, and this doesn't work, and that doesn't work, and we're like, man, I know we tested that, and this is what the shaker table prevents. So,
To yourself personally and the other owners, your buddies you all came from the industry, you all RVers.
Yeah.
How much has that played a role in the Brinkley brand and unit?
Changes everything. It changes everything. I mean, we don't wonder what the customer, needs anymore or wants. Now, we're exceptional at receiving feedback. We're eager to get it. We feel like we never get enough. We come in every day to get better. But at the same time, when you're out using the products, you learn a lot. And that's how you really dial stuff in. I mean, we have 4 kids. We don't camp as much as we would like, but if I look at the last 3 weeks, I've towed units 3 times, and I'm leaving on a trip on Thursday. And so when we're interacting with customers, if there's a brake issue or we're not happy with how something's traveling or a door opens the wrong way, we know because we're out doing it. I mean,
name a couple things that you have found that you've changed or you've brought to the company because of your camping experience.
Oh my gosh, so many things. I mean, you go back 2.5 years to when G was a baby. I mean, I think my first trip I brought back 160 changes. It was everything from bag door sizes to the swing to how the drawers came out, kitchen tweaks, adjustable shelves. I mean, when my wife, we went out first time in Florida, I mean, a lot of the changes came from her. Nate, you need more counter space here. The lighting in the bathroom, you need over the mirror. I mean, it's, you learn a lot. And plus, camping's fun. I mean, we love it. When we go on a trip with the kids, the biggest question is, when are we going next? And we always have trips lined up, so they have something to look forward to, and it's just a part of what we do.
And your partners go as well, right?
Oh yeah.
I know Micah went a lot, did a ton on the Z line.
Well, most people don't know this, but we camp in every single unit. So if we come out with a new floor plan, we take it camping. So, Micah's come out with a lot of floor plans in the last year. He's been camping a lot. Now, it may be on his property, at his house, or maybe they're going to Cedar Point or something, but either way, we're out in them.
So I want to kind of wrap this up and look at the future. We've talked a little bit about quality. We've talked about how you have found issues that maybe no one else would have found because you've gone out and camped. But looking ahead now, what are the disruptors that are out there affecting the industry that Brinkley's got to address in the next couple of years? I think of EV, for example. We've had that big issue with GM pulling the plug on one of the most promising chassis for EVs that we've seen. What's on your cloudy crystal ball out there that is coming your way that you need to get your team on?
Well, from a product perspective, I mean, we have a lot of irons in the fire, and we're really passionate about product development. I mean, Mike and I personally run the brands with our teams, and we love it. I mean, right before I came over here, I was sitting in a product development meeting, and we're laughing, having fun. I mean, it's what we do. So from a product perspective, I mean, we're working on a lot. I don't know if I'd want to share any of it, but I don't know that there's any major disruptors coming from towables. I think there's some improvements that need to be made.
Well, tell us a couple of improvements.
I mean, I think a big focus on towables has been running gear. I mean, it's something that we're fixated on. We've addressed it in part of our lineup, and we're soon to address it in the rest of it. We recently were the first ones to introduce a poly roof that's a hard roof. We felt like there was a real opportunity to kind of complete the story for our customers on a no maintenance roof. Now, if you're towing a Model G and a branch goes across the roof, you don't have to worry about it. There's nothing that it would damage. I mean, now, if something falls on it in a storm, of course, be concerned, but things like that. I mean, now, I think our biggest probably opportunity in what we talk about the most is service. I mean, that's where the change really needs to happen. I feel like product, especially post-COVID, has evolved a ton.
Yeah.
So,
about the components themselves, your suppliers. Do you have a lot of leverage with them? I mean, most of the major issues we've looked at over the last year, the big ones, have kind of been supplier issues rather than specific brands. How do you handle that? Because you're kind of at their mercy unless you build it yourself.
Just bit by bit. Like, we moved G into GE residential appliances. That was a pretty awesome move for us, a very low warranty, and they have a great service network to handle stuff. Micah personally worked with Lippert on developing the Furrion Chill Cube, which has been a great innovation. He's getting really close on a new fridge that they're going to launch, and it's just been piece by piece, really. But we see the component opportunities too. It's probably one of the biggest things we talk about. I'll take a step back to what I mentioned on running gear. Running gear for us, before kind of TCS recently, was probably one of our biggest areas that we were struggling. And so, in combination with different suspension, upgraded brakes and things have been a big focus. So we took G to disc brake standard recently, actually for 26 model change. So,
and of course, everybody keeps saying you're going to sell. You're going to sell. And you keep saying we're not going to sell. At least long term we're here to grow. But let's get that out. I saw some guy the other day was, I know for a fact they're going to sell.
Oh man!
And
well, I'm one of the owners, and I didn't hear that. Yeah.
Where does this all come from? Is that?
I think it's mostly our competition.
That's what I was going to ask. Is that your competition that's saying that?
I think so. They do it about twice a year. And I think their goal is to give customers pause, maybe, that things are going to change. But I'll tell you, I mean, I'm 42. Micah, Ryan, and I are about the same age. Ron and Bill are really happy with the performance, and we have good relationships. In fact, our partnership is probably the best it's ever been. We have no reason to sell, and if we did, I mean, what am I going to do for the rest of my career? I mean, if we're going to do this, we want to do it for ourselves, and it's not even something we talk.
You could do a motorized line.
We could do it.
Is that on the table?
We could get into boats. We could do. No, I mean, we're going to stay focused. So we think we can have a really strong company that we can keep growing, and we can stay focused on towables. We built Grand Design into well, before we left, into quite the powerhouse. And Mike and I kept stiff arming Winnebago on motorized. We wanted to stay fixated on towables, and we kept growing and growing and growing. And we feel like we can do the same thing here. And there's some major product categories we haven't even gotten into yet. So we're going to keep building towables.
All right.
So.
Well, it's been a pleasure as a Brinkley owner. And we had no connection. We bought actually after we toured the factory a year ago, it was at least. So keep it up, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thanks for your time. Yeah.
Nate, I hope we can do some other interviews like that with other industry execs that are out there. They all have a story to tell. And the big story, I think, is what Nate was talking about, which is customer care. That's number one. And quality. That's also number one. So I got two number ones. And I'd love to talk to some more of those guys, but not a lot of them are willing to sit down like that and be that candid, but we will do our best.
I think something that Brinkley has going for them that people might not know about, they've got brand new factories.
Yes.
That's a real heads up with state-of-the-art equipment, air-conditioned factories for the workers to work in. So they've got that going for them.
That's a big plus.
Because they're just starting out. They haven't been around forever.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Meantime, we want to talk to you about camping, and it can get pretty expensive. In fact, it can be downright as expensive as a hotel or a motel, and even more sometimes. You've seen those prices go up. It's hard to get a place to stay. That's where RV overnights comes in. If you're tired of expensive campgrounds, crowded RV parks, this is something that we've been using this year, and we have really enjoyed RV overnights. It's added so much to our going from here to there and not getting stuck with huge campground fees.
So it's a bargain price, just $49 a year for U.S. and Canadian overnights.
And we can save you a whole bunch of money from that. RV Overnights connects you with incredible hosts at farms, wineries, breweries, and unique roadside attractions that welcome RVers with open arms.
These aren't just parking spots. They're experiences. Many locations offer electric and water hookups, and you can often stay for multiple days. Picture yourself waking up in a vineyard in Napa, or parking beside a working farm in Montana, or discovering that quirky roadside museum you never knew existed. These are real small business owners who genuinely love meeting fellow travelers and sharing their slice of America.
We've been using RV overnights this summer and have just been delighted with the places we've stayed, like a bison ranch where we got up close and personal with some bison and had a beautiful bison pasture to camp in. Planning your adventure with RV overnights is incredibly easy. They have a great app and desktop, website. You search for your route, book your stays, hit the road.
And here's the best part. Our listeners get an exclusive 40% off their annual membership. Just use promo code RVLDEAL when you sign up. Don't miss out on this game-changing way to travel. Head to rvlifestyle.com/RVovernights right now. And remember, use promo code RVLDEAL to save 40%.
All right. Time now for the RV News of the Week. And this is a pretty good story that I think is going to get your attention. It has to do with Google Maps. Everybody uses Google Maps for navigation. Google just announced that it is rolling its Gemini AI, artificial intelligence, into the Maps app. And honestly, this could make life a lot easier for RVers. Here's the big deal. Gemini responds to simple voice requests. So you'll be able now to fire it up by tapping a new icon that you'll find in the Google Maps screen, or just say that classic, "Hey, Google." It just turned on everybody's Google.
Yeah. And once it's listening, you can literally talk to Google Maps while you're driving and get real-time help. Things like, find me an RV-friendly gas station, or where's a good hamburger spot coming up in the next 10 miles. Gemini will dig into Google Maps, huge database, about 250 million places and reviews, and give you an answer right away.
And here's something really cool. Instead of those annoying countdown directions, turn right in 0.3 miles, it'll start using things you can actually understand, like landmarks that you can see up ahead. So it might say, turn right after the Shell station, or turn left at the next traffic light, or much more natural stuff, or see that McDonald's up there? The next street after that, turn left. Google Maps is also picking up a feature that the app Waze users already know. You'll be able to report hazards by voice, things like accidents or traffic jams, speed traps, construction zones. So you'll say something like, I see an accident, and Gemini will then log it and then get that out on Waze and on Gemini. By the way, do you know that Waze is owned by Google?
I didn't know that before.
Yeah, they bought it a couple years ago. I think I knew it, but I forgot all about it. And Waze is going to do the same thing.
That's awesome.
Because you used to have to push these annoying buttons, and that's just not safe while you're driving. Since Google owns both apps, the long-term plan is they'll have drivers from Waze feeding traffic data and Google Maps feeding traffic, and you'll get a lot more accurate data on what's ahead.
We checked our Google Maps app before we recorded this, and it's not showing up for us yet. But Google says it's rolling out across the U.S. for both Androids and iPhones basically any day now. And when it does arrive, we're definitely going to be playing with it.
And we've got a lot of RVers will too.
We're going to be out there.
Yeah.
And now we'll take a brief moment to talk about something that can make or break a road trip, unexpected breakdowns.
We all know how expensive RV maintenance has gotten. A blown transmission or a busted AC unit can cost thousands, which is why we always recommend our friends over at Wholesale Warranties. Their customizable protection plans help cover those repair bills, big and small. And you can take your RV to any licensed repair facility in the U.S. or Canada, even mobile techs.
Plus, their customer service team is top-notch and makes the claim process quick and painless so you aren't delayed in your journey.
But here's something that you have to keep in mind. Starting January 1st, every RV ages up a model year. Now, that means your eligibility and your pricing for coverage might be changing. So you don't want to hold off. Lock in this year's lower rates and get peace of mind for your next adventure.
You can get a free personalized quote today at wholesalewarranties.com/RV lifestyle.
All right, time now for the social media buzz.
And Wendy Boyer reports on the hot issues most talked about this past week on social media and our RV lifestyle community group. Let's go, Wendy.
Hi, everybody. The theme of the social media buzz this week is tips. That is, tips to help make the RV life a little bit easier. So I've gathered these in no particular order from both our RV lifestyle community and Facebook group, and I'm sharing them in hopes they can help someone. And the first tip was from Dan and Cindy, and it's about ant prevention, and it was from our community. Dan and Cindy had been camping in Georgia, Florida, East Texas, and somewhere along the line, one of those campgrounds had an ant problem. Ants got in their rig, and they, long story short, needed to do something to prevent them from coming back in. So what they did, and this is the tip, was they used a small amount of Vaseline, and they put it on the water and electrical cords right before they enter the RV. They said that this worked like a charm, no more ants coming in, and it was just such a simple thing to do to prevent an issue. So wanted to share that with you. And the second tip was also for members of our private RV lifestyle community. In our community, we have something called the virtual campfire, where we can see one another, we can chat to each other in real time, and we do this once a week. And during one of our chats, we were talking about packing and how long it takes to pack up your rig, how long it takes to unpack your rig after a trip, and people were sharing different tips. So after that conversation, Nancy made a post and she shared what she did to help shave a little bit of time off this whole process. And what she does is she puts her condiments in these containers, and then she puts these containers in a basket in her fridge at home. And when it's time to go, she just pulls that basket out, puts it in her RV, and then when she's done camping, she grabs that same basket, puts it back in her home fridge. Super quick, super easy. And a lot of people love this idea, so wanted to share it with you. And then the third tip for today is from our RV Lifestyle Facebook group. So this came from a post. Linda had a question about her pantry, and she wrote, I cannot see what is in the back of the shelves. What have you done to fix this problem? So she had these RV shelves, I'm sure you've seen them, that are super deep, kind of narrow, very tall. And she had it stuffed with items, but she couldn't get to the things in the back. And there were nearly 400 comments, all filled with suggestions. And I would say that the suggestions came down to 3 different categories, and that's what I'd like to share with you. The first suggestion on how to solve this problem was to install lighting. Keith was one of many who said, that he installed an LED strip down each side just inside the door frame that would turn on when the cupboard door was open, off when it was closed. He said adding the light just really made a difference at being able to see what was way back there. The second tip was to use bins or baskets and get super organized. Many people shared pictures of what they did. They would use these bins and put everything in there, label what's in there. They would get bins to fit their cupboard space, and then they would just, pull out the bin when they needed something in there, put it back in when they were done, and this worked great for them. And then the third most popular suggestion, which I think is my favorite, is to install slide-out shelves. Many people showed pictures of how they did this. Lorna was one. She installed these wire slide-out racks, so you just pull or slide the rack out. You can get to all those things in that narrow, deep cupboard, and when you're done, you just slide the rack back. It just is a great suggestion, I think, on how to handle those really deep, narrow spaces. So there you go. Those are my 3 tips, 3 different categories on how to make the RV life a little simpler. I hope it will help one of you. And that's it for me this week. I'm Wendy Boyer, and I'll see you either in our private RV lifestyle community or Facebook group.
You could always use tips to make things easier. And that's what's so fun about our social media buzz, where you all crowdsource all those tips for it. And then we pass them along right here on the podcast every week.
We're not even needed in this podcast. We can just do that and have everybody share their information with each
podcast,
other.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't
that
say
would
that.
work.
Don't say that so loud. Somebody else will beat us to it.
That's for sure.
You could actually do this with AI.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
I just got this AI notice, and it showed me like 7 characters, and they look like real people. They are real. I swear they're real people. But you type in something, and these real people look at the screen and tell you. I'll try and do a demo on one of these and show you something. So you're going to start seeing, I think you already are seeing fake videos and fake people.
They probably don't make as many mistakes.
No, they don't make as many mistakes. It'll be a lot easier to edit.
Yeah, life would be much easier.
All right, let's get to the RV questions of the week. We love getting your questions.
We
We're
sure
going to
do.
do 2 of them this week.
Okay, we got 2. So the first question is, this question came in response to a comment we made in our last week's podcast. You mentioned you're leaving Michigan in January for warmer weather. We're in Illinois and planning to do the same. I'm curious how you plan your exit. I'm assuming your Brinkley is winterized. This topic might be something you could share with others trying to do the same thing. Thanks.
We did winterize last week.
And it's a good thing.
Yeah, because right after we winterized, the temperature dropped. In fact, this morning, as we record this, we had 4 inches of snow on the ground. And man.
And we brought in those slides last night.
We brought in the slides. No snow was piling up. So you ask how we get away. We've made video over the last 2 times we've taken off in January. We always leave about the second week of January, and our first big trip of the year. We do Christmas and Thanksgiving and the holidays with family, and then we take off in January. The first show is always the Tampa RV show, the Florida RV Super Show. 2 years ago, as we were leaving bright and early in the morning, we had snow, and we got stuck in our own yard. We had to call a wrecker to tow us out of snowbanks on our own yard.
Okay, so whatever happened to that January thaw?
It comes later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then last year, we knew there was a big blizzard that was supposedly coming, so we made plans to leave a day early. And overnight, the snow came. It came early, and we had to spend most of the day digging our RV out.
It wasn't a we, it was a you.
That was the last 2 years. So what we try and do, as you can see, not always with success, is watch the weather before we make sure that we'll have the best possible weather. If it's storming, the forecast is storms when we're planning to leave, we'll either leave early or we'll wait until it is passed and the roads are clear. Anything we can do to beat a storm. It's no fun to be driving in ice or snow or winter weather out there.
And if a storm surprises you when you're out there, pull over.
Yeah,
find a place. Don't battle it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, but pay attention to the weather. That's really the critical part. Particularly these days, weather's severe everywhere, but particularly as you're going from the north to the south, till you get out of that freezing zone, you really want to know what the weather is. So our RV is winterized, and we leave it just as it is when we pull out, winterized, which means you can't use the plumbing in the RV. There's no water in it. It's all got antifreeze in the plumbing lines. And the first night, usually we get to southern Kentucky the first night, sometimes Indiana, but usually southern Kentucky. And it's usually very cold there. In fact, last year it was below 0 when we got there. Can you believe that in Kentucky? But anyway, we'll just leave things the way they are, leave it winterized. And we do use the toilet in the bathroom. It's just that instead of flushing with water, we always have a couple jugs of antifreeze and we flush with that. And then we'll take off. And usually the second night, we're south of Atlanta and it's almost always above freezing there. And we will de-winterize there. De-winterizing is really simple. You basically just fill all the tanks with fresh water and run it through the taps in the shower until the pink stuff doesn't show up. And then we're de-winterized. And that's how we normally travel.
Remember last year, they had that extreme snow in Florida.
Oh, yeah, we got
and
stranded.
there wasn't antifreeze anyplace.
No,
so
or propane. They all ran out of
propane. So be prepared.
Yeah, make sure you keep your propane tanks topped off. Yeah, we were coming back from the Tampa show. And actually, we weren't even going to Michigan. We were going to go over to the Emerald Coast area of Florida, up in the Panhandle. But this ice storm literally shut down US 10 after the Tampa show. And we got stranded in Gainesville, just south of the freezing line in Florida, for almost a week.
So our poor friend Nick Schmidt got bombarded with us.
Yeah, we kept
every day.
showing up.
The man could not open his door without us standing there.
Nick's our friend. He owns Sunshine State RVs, and we always use the period right after the Tampa show to go see what's new in Class Bs. And Nick lets us, he's the only one that'll do it in the country that let us actually take out a unit and camp in it.
With our furry dog.
With our furry Bobo. Yeah, the dog. But anyway, hopefully no bad weather this year.
Okay, question number 2. This is from Darren. And he says, do you have any recommendations for solar generator, battery packs, and arrays?
Everybody knows, I hope, what a solar generator is. That's really marketing speak for a big battery. That's really what it is, a big lithium battery. And they really have changed the whole idea of emergency power for a lot of people. We like and use the Jackery line. They're a very reliable brand of lithium solar generators. The one we have and carry with us in our Brinkley is the Jackery 1000 solar generator. Kicks out 1,500 watts of AC power. Will handle, I think, up to a 3,000 watt surge peak. Some things, when you turn them on, they have we use like a 1,500 watt ceramic heater to supplement the furnace. When you turn that on, at first it powers up real high to get the heating elements, and then it cools down. That surge peak, the Jackery will handle that. We can run that as long as we want. Not as long as we want, but long enough for the night anyway. It'll also power our fridge, electric cooking pots, coffee pots, CPAP machines, Starlink. And it has this really neat emergency charging feature on it. If you plug it into a wall outlet through the Jackery app, you can set a setting on it. It will bring you from 0 to 100% battery level in 1 hour with this special feature it has. This unit we have came with a 200 watt solar panel, and that will fully charge the whole unit in 6 to 8 hours of pretty good sunshine. So you could conceivably use this unit all night long for whatever you needed it, drain it down, and then charge it up during the day and keep going, and self-sustaining power, conceivably. Great for boondocking, even backup power in your house. It isn't that heavy.
No.
Not that light either. But
yeah, the unit we have weighs just under 24 pounds, and Amazon is selling it and the 200 watt solar panel right now for $599, which is over 50% off. And I don't know how long that pricing will hold, but that is what it is this week.
Yeah, they might keep that up for Black Friday. They might even have a bigger discount, but we'll put a link to this whole thing in the show notes. You can go to them at rvlifestyle.com/572. All right. Do you have a question for us? We love getting your questions. We love getting your comments on anything you heard today as well. Our personal email is mikeandjen@rvlifestyle.com. And that is the podcast for this week.
Happy trails.